The Music for Health has been coming for many years under Mark and Ross. Mark and Ross have become like family to the hospital now, and we see the students coming and going, different students, but the standards never drop and the value never drops. They're always the same, and they always contribute a great deal to the ward and to our patients.
The students we have coming here spend hours a day practicing in a practice room, working towards virtuosic playing and perfection and being absolutely prepared for anything they're going to turn up to. And here at the hospital, that's just slightly different. You don't know what you're going to turn up to. You don't know how the children will react.
Yes, you never know what to expect, and you've got to have that sensitivity to the environments you come into.
Yeah, I think the way that we try and work on the wards is that we invite the students to come into our world of music making at the hospital, I suppose. We support them so they're kind of safely supported to be able to develop their own experience.
As we progressed through our placement, we got to actually have hands-on experience where we played in the wards and got to perform in public spaces to help brighten other people's days. Yeah.
Sort of start quietly playing outside or just inside the ward and kind of gauge your reaction from that. So starting off slowly and more people join in, and then it can be sometimes that we just end up playing for a while and maybe the children are listening, but often it becomes a lot more interactive and we have some percussion instruments that we hand out, and it can be really lovely actually.
It's like specialised play, so we play to them, they interact, we give them instruments, and it's just have a really fun time.
Kenise has been with us for a wee while now. Last week she came and joined the music session where I was sat by the side of her and she was shaking one of the egg-shaped shakers, but I had to hold it and direct her to do it. And as you saw this week, there she was holding onto it herself, able to shake it herself.
For many of the children here, physio can be a little bit difficult. It can be something they don't look forward to, whereas in the music she was doing all of the things that she would do in a physiotherapy session, but through the music she was conducting us, she was moving her arms and her legs to signal when to play, and we were trying to follow her sort of in the moment.
So it became a game with her, which is then fun for her, but on a serious note, you're getting her to do those movements naturally, whereas if you send in a physiotherapist or an occupational therapist, it's hard work then instead of fun.
She couldn't really say very much. She was in control of about six people all following her. So that benefit for that child is, obviously there's the physical, there's also that self-esteem then that comes for her, that she's been able to control people, be in charge, be listened to, when actually she's in a situation where she probably struggles to do much for herself and feel that she can communicate.
Some of them are in cubicles who can't come out for whatever reason, and then Mark and Ross will either go into the room if it's appropriate, but if it's not, they'll actually stand by the doorway and play the music at the doorway, so everybody benefits. It doesn't matter what age, what ability or disability they've got, everybody benefits. We have children who are deaf, so they can't hear the music, but they will play the shakers and they'll feel the vibrations. Mark will go up with his guitar and let the child hold onto the guitar so that they feel the vibrations through the music. It's marvellous, so nobody gets left out.
If you're engaged in music, it takes over sometimes. It can help you forget about the pain and your immediate situation. We've seen with some of the children we've worked with who are on monitors that their heart rates have decreased when they've been quite high and anxious because of the music making, and their oxygen saturation rates have increased because they're breathing more deeply. So immediately a child relaxes in the music, then they can maybe achieve more.
And there are some children who shy away, they don't want it, so they won't go anywhere near the child, but they'll stay at a distance, but the child will keep looking, and probably in a few weeks' time you'll find that same child is joining in. It doesn't matter what illness or what condition they have, they are children who want to enjoy their time as much as possible in the hospital environment, and they help to provide it, and I think it's very rewarding for them, and I think they go away knowing that they've made a difference.
I think doing this has really shown me that there are so many other things that I can do with a skill that you've learned. I found this really rewarding and sort of really refreshing as a contrast to other things which I might use my playing for.
As a performer, you kind of have your own stage, but in a hospital it's a bit different. You're always surrounded by a very busy environment, and you have to be very sensitive to whether people want to hear what you're playing or how loud you should play. and that's definitely taught me a lot.
We've had a lot of feedback from students saying that it changes their feeling about performing.
I just hear them talk about how motivated they are, how much they get it now while they're playing, and it can be a real pivotal moment for some of them.
There are many skills that the students learn coming in and being able to think about improvising, you know, the way that they listen to each other in a very different kind of chamber music setting. These are skills that they can transfer to other settings later on. I think for the students to have this experience as part of their learning when they're at a stage when they're thinking, how can I use my music, you know, what can I contribute? Through our funding, we've given employment opportunities to RNCM students, probably about 6 or 7 now.
Yeah. And don't worry about the size of the instruments. We've had cellists,
Yeah.
and we've employed 2 cellists, and a harpist, and we really want a bass.
Yes, we've not had a bass yet, so that's
Yeah.
for next year, please.
I would, but I can't with my legs. I'm not good at dancing, but I just do it anyway.